you know, called a play and he said, remember, we got 3 in our back pocket, so be smart here. You know, it's a luxury to always feel like you have those 3 points in your back pocket, essentially once you get across the 30.
And, of course, you took advantage of that, took a 3-0 lead in the opening minutes of the ball game. The Bearcat defense would hold the Warriors to a 3-and-out, but give it right back on a muffed punt. Chilhowie after that would answer and turn it into 7 points. So defensively, though, they were able to get a 3-and-out to open that possession for Chilhowie, but then the muffed punt. So what do you think was going through the minds of the defense going back out on the field?
You know, I don't know. I mean, give credit to them. I think they drove the ball down and scored. Yeah, the muffed punt gave them decent field position, but, you know, those things happen. We got to be a little better there defensively in terms of, you know, if we have to go in a sudden change, we got to go right back out there and try to get another 3-and-out. And I don't think that we didn't try to do that. So give them some credit there. I mean, they made a few plays, and, you know, it happens.
Went right back, though, and got another 3 points, this time from 40 yards out, cut it to 7-6 in favor of the Warriors. Virginia High would take the lead on an Aaron Rose 7-yard touchdown run to make it 13-7. Chilhowie would tie it up on a 20-yard burst from running back Greg Sanchez. They missed the go-ahead extra point, so it stayed tied at 13-13. And yet again, just before half, getting some points. We're able to get a few going into halftime. A 7-yard touchdown reception for Michael Bradley to take the lead by 7, 20-13 going into half. How does this keep on happening, being able to drive it right at the end of the quarters? Pretty clutch.
You know, I think it says a lot about our kids. You know, they don't panic. You get in that situation, sure, it was critical to get some points, but they stayed patient. I've said it before, our quarterback's one of the smartest football players we've ever had, and he, along with some other guys that we have, are incredibly intelligent. They stay poised. They stay patient. They knew how to manage the clock and ultimately produce there at the end. And we were fortunate. We felt like we had 3 in our back pocket, but that touchdown was big. Put us ahead going into the half. That was definitely big.
20-13 at the half. Then the third quarter, everything stopped. It was scoreless in the third quarter. Both defenses running things. But then after that, the fourth quarter, the Bearcat offense came alive. They scored 2 touchdowns within a 2-minute span there early in the fourth to take the momentum. Michael Bradley scoring on his second touchdown on a 15-yard pass from Lathrop. Then the onside kick. And then another touchdown. That time it was Alex Atkins' 6-yard run, and it made it a 20-point game, 33-13. Let's go to that kick. Was that something you worked on in practice or all season?
Planned it all out. No, it was reality. It was a hard squib.
Yeah, I thought it was
Jake just put some velocity on it, hit off the kid's leg, and Jalen Dingus was there to make a great play and recover it for us. So, no, it wasn't planned. It was a squib. You know, we had covered those first 2 kickoffs really well, and then they added Sanchez in there. He almost slipped one on us, and so we just felt like, hey, we're not going to kick to him. Even if we kick it deep right, they were going to reverse and give the ball to him. So we really didn't want to give him another touch, so we wanted to go with a hard squib. Wasn't an onside kick. None of those were onside kicks. They were just squibs. In reality, as it hit off the kid's leg, and we were the beneficiaries of it. So
that was just what the doctor ordered.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good in that situation.
Yeah, that was really a nice play. I know Mark got excited about that one, bouncing right off the foot, right back to the kicker almost. So you don't see that.
Yeah,
you don't see that very often. After that, though, Chilhowie, after the second score within that 2-minute span, Chilhowie would go on a scoring drive, cut it to 33-20. Then Bobby Madley with the big catch over the head of one of the Chilhowie cornerbacks, this time for 48 yards out. Still throwing the ball there, trying to close out the game. What about the wide receivers last week really coming out and playing well?
Well, I think they're a deep group. We have we feel like we have 6 guys. Reality, really 7 guys. We can throw in there and make plays for. So it goes deeper than those first 4. There's other guys that have some ability. And you know, when they do get an opportunity, they also make plays. So we feel good about that entire wide receiver core. You know, the thing I appreciate about last week was it's been a long time since we've been in a close game and pulled away. I think that says a lot about our kids. I said it before, they have the poise. They're also a very disciplined group. They stay the course. They don't panic. You know, I was really pleased with that facet. I feel like it's been a long time since we've been in a tight one and then pulled away and not let somebody back in it. And I just kind of played their game. I feel like we played our game and just pulled away.
Go to Mark here. We've got some themes from the game to take away from that win over Chilhowie.
So, I mean, I know it was very evident in this game, but it seems to always be reoccurring in this team, and that's the early adversity. We trailed 7-3, then 7-6. It was tied 13-13 near the half before scoring, led by 7 going in the fourth, I believe. And then the explosive plays, it just seemed to be a recurring issue too, or a good thing, not really an issue for us.
For opposing teams.
Yeah, a big issue for them. Like the Lathrop to Medley connection happened 5 times for 182 yards and a touchdown. It's a pretty good chunk of yards for a couple plays there.
No doubt. I feel like going back to even John Battle, you're going to have to throw the ball and get some completions in critical situations. So if we're not afraid to throw it to close out a game, if that's what we need to do to be successful. Reality is we're going to do whatever it is. We have confidence in J-Mo and all the receivers. So, if we need to throw it to close it out, we'll do it.
And continuing with those themes to the game, spreading the workload. 4 different Bearcats found the end zone. Bradley found it 2 times, Aaron Rose once, Alex Atkins, and Bobby Medley. So really dispersion the scoring. That makes it hard for these opposing defenses against you guys, just all the threats out there offensively.
Yeah, certainly having all those guys that can make plays makes you harder to defend. And, there's no egos out there. We're going to spread the ball where it needs to be, put the ball in the hands of those that give us the best chance of success. And, our quarterback is a selfless guy. He's going to put the ball where his reads take him. So certainly having all those guys that can make plays doesn't limit you. It makes it a little easier on offense. Obviously also makes you harder to defend.
Some of the stats from that game: Jamie Lathrop, 11 for 19 passing, 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Lane Carroll, who was our second guest this afternoon, he went 2 for 2 on field goals, a 30-yarder as well. One of the longs, also a 40-yarder in that one. As we go ahead and ask you a couple of questions from that game, some of the takeaways, what are some of the things you take away since you've been able to go back and watch some film from the Chilhowie win?
As I said before, I felt like we played a really good game, complete game, but I don't think it's the best we're capable of, which makes you feel good as a coach that you feel like you still haven't clicked totally offensively or defensively. There's some always going to be some correctables, but it feels really good to play a solid game, beat a good team, and feel like you can still play better.
So special teams is something we seem to talk about a lot on this show and from a week-to-week basis. And last week it wasn't any different. The long return by Austin Davidson, Lane Carroll keeps drilling them through the uprights, and Colton Ratcliffe with that blocked field goal again. Is that just a pleasant surprise, or is that something you really expected from this team?
I think it's something I expect. Special teams are effort plays. We're fortunate we have 2 really good kickers, but we have, Lane Carroll kicking field goals is incredibly accurate. I think that's the thing that we appreciate. It's just so consistent, so accurate. And then, the blocks and the returns and all that, those are effort plays. We have kids that work incredibly hard. They believe in it. They take pride in their craft. Colton's going to get singled out in some games. I think he's blocked, is it 3 this year?
I think 3, yeah, 2 in one game.
He may have caught the 1 block. He's blocked 2. And additionally, you have Michael Bradley, who makes plays in special teams. Austin Davidson's had some good returns. So those are just effort plays. Now, we do spend a lot of time in practice. I think that's a separator. It's a way to pull away in a tight one. We spend quality time, but it is a significant amount of time each practice with special teams.
So going even further into the game, Michael Bradley caught 2 touchdowns in the win. We haven't seen a lot of him offensively getting into the end zone. Was there some idea that he would play a pivotal role going into the game on that motion play, or was it just something that came about during the game?
It's something we had worked on during the week and certainly put in. Felt like they'd have a hard time to defend it. But Michael's made plays. He hadn't been in the end zone until Friday, but he's a special kid too. He certainly has the ability to make some plays. We like when he has the ball in his hands in space. Felt like they'd struggle to defend that in their defense, and played it the way we thought they would, and they did struggle with it.
And it adds yet another threat to this offense out of the backfield too.
Sure, we feel like we can move him wherever we need to. He's a talented guy. He's a tough guy. Really smart football player.
We had another tight game going into the fourth quarter yet again for this team, and How does this team continue to finish the game strong week after week?
I think it all goes back to the off season. I think our conditioning is something we pride ourselves on. To play in our program, you got to meet a standard in your all-season conditioning. They've met that. I think that starts to pay dividends for you in terms of mental toughness, in terms of dealing with adversity. And the second thing is we spend a lot of time in the off-season and in-season on our culture. Dealing with adversity is a big aspect of it. So, those are things we stress throughout the season, the off-season, and during the season. So I think that's started to pay dividends for us. Those guys bought into that culture. Sometimes for high school kids that's hard to do, but they believe in that. They believe in kind of our mission, and they carry it out.
So we're going to be right back with Coach Christ after the break. We're going to talk about the next team up, the Abingdon Falcons. Here are some highlights from last week's win against Chilhowie. We'll be right back on Bearcat Sports Chat. They're back up to the line of scrimmage. Again, 2 yards to gain. Here's the snap. They're going to toss it to Carroll in motion. He's got the first down, breaks the tackle to the 40.
Great run.
He's across. A good first down run as they decide to test the edge of that Chilhowie defense, and they're able to get to it for the first down. There's a snap. The hold is down. The kick is up. It's got the distance, and it's through.
Wow.
Good. Right on the money. Lane Carroll, have yourself a first quarter. Big third down here. There's a snap, handoff, fake.
Fumbled.
Fumbled there by Cale. He can't get it. It's a big sack. Closing down on it. That was 76, Thomas Barlow. His first sack of the season. He's able to bring down Cale, and now they're going to have to bring out the field goal unit. Again from that right hash, trying to make it a 4-point game. Close to 40. There's a snap, a high snap, and it's blocked. Attaboy as it goes out of bounds. Coming in there to get the block, Colton Ratcliffe off the edge. And the score will stay 7-6. You knew that was trouble from the get-go with that high snap. Ends up not even getting off the ground hardly as Colton Ratcliffe was able to close and swat it down. Receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Howard in the backfield. Snap, Lathrop's going to roll to the left. Got plenty of time. Now he's going to work his way back to the right, still looking. Now he's going to take off on his own. Past the 30, now he'll flip it forward, and it's caught there. Risky pass, just a shovel pass over to Davidson, over the head of a defender. Very dangerous pass, but Jamie Lathrop showing off the playmaking ability. Realizing that he was behind the line of scrimmage, flipped it forward like he was flipping to a second baseman covering on a double play. Just a quick flip, and that's a first down Bearcats.
I don't think I've ever seen a 20-yard shovel pass in my life. That's exactly what that was.
Left, a man in motion. Rose takes it to the right side.
Nothing.
He's got a gap.
Good.
Touchdown. Big score there. 12-7 Bearcats. Bearcats line up with 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Rose in the backfield with Lathrop. They'll put Bradley in motion, going from right to left. Snap. Lathrop rolling out. Now they're going to try to hit Bradley in the corner, and he's in. Touchdown. As he falls into the end zone inside the pylon, and it's 19-13 with 25 seconds to go. 7-yard touchdown pass, Michael Bradley. They did that same play they had on that third down and long earlier in this drive for the touchdown this time. 7 yards. 20-13, Virginia High leading. A great first half of football from Gene Malcolm Stadium. We'll be trying to force a field goal attempt. It's third down and goal from the 15-yard line. Let's see what the Bearcats dial up here. 2 to the right. They'll put Bradley in motion from right to left. Now 3 to the left side. Now the snap. Bradley in the flats, makes the grab, gets a block. Touchdown, Bearcats. 26-13, the lead now for Virginia High as they do that same play. That time from 15 yards out. Michael Bradley goes in motion, and that play has been money tonight for the Bearcats. His second touchdown grab of the afternoon. That's the second touchdown pass from Jamie Lathrop, and it's 26-13 as confetti flies out above that Virginia High student section for this blackout homecoming game. As here's the kick from State Line Motors. A little squib bounces off the foot and right back into the hands of the Bearcats. And it looks like they've recovered.
But there's a pile of people. Can't make any assumptions just yet.
They are in motion and Bearcat ball. It was a squib, a hard squib. It hit the foot of a Chilhowie Warrior and bounced straight back to the Cats, almost straight back to the